But the class did survive and take on the name of Cleric when it moved into third 3.5, because I'm going to lump those together because the priest really didn't change much between those two editions, at least. Their spell lists were improved. They were given a broader spectrum of spells to choose from. If you're a good cleric, you can't cast spells with the evil keyword without, I believe, depends on your DM. But you got a lot more options. And in place of those spheres of influence from the deities, they gave you domains, and then they gave them a special slot, domain spells. Which, some of them are really cool. Some of them are utter shit. Magic Vestment, 3rd level spell. In the game that I'm playing, where I play a priest in Eberron, I have never found a use for Magic Vestment. My party's already buffed enough that it's no use. I can't cast it on anyone without screwing them over, because they can either give themselves a bigger bonus sign-on, or they already have a better one. So some of the spells, domain spells, are sucky, but at the same time they don't actually cost you your real spell slots that you'll use for something, bull strength, unless of course that's your domain spell, or healing, or later on, I think it's Divine Host, where you summon just an army of angels, which is really cool. But they also got rid of your weapon limitations. Given priests only start off with simple weapons, but they can spend feats and get other weapons. So now they can get scythes, they can get scimitars, everything. They can get anything they want to spend a feat on, which really helped. Their Thaco became base attack, which got a little bit better if I recall. And their spell selection got better. And in the previous edition, the 2nd edition, to gain the special abilities based on your domain, or whatever you were worshipping, you had to give up something. They got rid of that completely and just gave you something. Like, I think it's a healing domain for Paylor, or just a healing domain in general. It might be the sun, so don't quote me on this. But you can gain the ability that when you turn undead, you can just obliterate it. So that's always really cool, especially when others have to double the undead's hit dice. The Paylor just obliterate it, which is really cool. And ultimately, second edition was alright. Priest 3.5 priest greatly improved. And I'm only going to spend a little bit of time, but Pathfinder changed it, and depends, it's really kind of up in the air if you like it. Now, I play Pathfinder priest, just so you know. But the only major change is they flipped from turn undead as an ability. They gave you channel energy, which can either be a burst heal or a burst inflict, depending on your alignment, and then a burst inflict on undead or burst heal undead, respectively. Which, it can be good, but at the same time, you're not being able to cast back the undead, you're dealing direct damage, which, depending on what you're fighting, can be good or bad. You can get the feat turn undead and it will do the same thing, but also channeled energy gets really good later on. I think it's like every second level, every even level, or every 2 levels after first, you gain another d6, up to I think 10 d6. So that's really cool. But past that, Pathfinder really didn't change it, except one thing. Your domains changed and gave you different abilities. Some of them good, some of them bad. I like them. I have a War Priest, so one of mine is I get to give a direct buff for 1 turn to whoever. That's really nice. And the support for it is... Complete Divine was good for Priest. Not as... I wouldn't have paid as much as I did for the book. There's not... Because that's when they lumped Ranger, Paladin, Druid, and Cleric all as Divine. So, you only got a quarter of what you paid. You only got a quarter of the book for use if you play for the Cleric. Because it was broken up through the rest. And then Complete Champion sucked for Clerics. It was awful. I hated it for Clerics. I was like, yes, another Divine book. I'll get more options. No. It really really was shit. I was so disappointed. Complete Divine was good. Complete Champion sucked. Then 4th edition rolled around. Now, 4th edition, what they did with the clerics was they took them out of that role of being healer monkey, which I liked, because I hate being a healer monkey. I don't like wasting my turns having to heal my party. It's like, why is that fun for me? If I have to spend my time making sure you can have fun and not die on your ass, why? That's not fun for me. I like doing stuff. So they made your healing ability a minor action that you can do. You can do it twice per encounter with the very basic. You get other ones that'll do other stuff, but your very, very basic one is twice per encounter. So it's alright, and then it gives you more attack powers, but as per, being divine, your abilities aren't heavy damage. A lot of times they're more defensive rather than offensive, which isn't necessarily bad. You get some really cool ones, though. That are just like massive amounts of damage from your deity. It's really cool. And I've played a cleric in every edition. I have to say, I think my favorite cleric to play would either be a 3/5 cleric because of I'm sorry, I completely forgot about the support for 4th edition clerics. The support for 4th edition clerics comes from the Complete Divine book. There's 4 divine classes now. Well, actually 5th if you count a new player, the Player's Handbook 3, but it's not covered in that book. It's just 4. It's all right. I mean, I'm personally not a fan of what the new concept cleric that they have in that book. It's mainly a healer. I don't like it, but there's some really cool powers in there, spells per se. There's some cool Paragon Paths and some cool Epic Destinies. So if you can get it for cheap, I'd get it. If not, I'd look through it in the bookstore to see if it's actually going to be worth it to you. Now back to what I was saying before I realized that I had forgotten the 4th edition support. I need to say either my favorite cleric is a 3/5 cleric or a 4th edition cleric. 3/5 clerics because I like the turn undead in it. I like that spell system. I do like that limit. That definitive. My day is done. I've called on my god as much as I can. I like it. It's a nice little limit. But at the same time, you do have that same problem of every now and then you'll have to spend your turns healing your party. But Pathfinder did fix it a lot, so it's not as bad. But still, you spend a good bit of your time healing your party. Or 4th edition. Because I really like the 4th edition one because it really took you out of that buff essence and is like, here, I'm going to put you into your own. You'll have to heal every now and then, but you really do get to do something pretty much every turn to damage. So that's the evolution of the cleric in brief. And any questions, leave a comment down below or message me. And until next Wednesday, next class we'll do is, well, I'll let you all decide. Pick a class that is not the Barbarian, that was in 2nd edition, and I will detail its evolution from 2nd edition to 4th edition in Pathfinder. Or if it's not in 2nd edition, I'll detail it from its beginning to where it is now. Until next time, have a good one.